the Mario Negri Institute for Pharmacological Research in Bergamo, Italy. Professor Giuseppe Remuzzi has been investigating the causes of chronic kidney disease here since 1975. Over 200 million people suffer from this silent killer worldwide. For a long time, a life of dialysis was unavoidable for many patients, especially when the disease was detected too late. The heart beats, the lungs breathe. It's only the kidneys that make no sound, even though they're so important. This is why a lot of patients who come here say, "I was fine," and suddenly they diagnosed chronic kidney disease. The kidneys are the body's blood filters. Their task is firstly to flush contaminants from the blood and then excrete them via the urine. And secondly, they have to make sure that the red blood cells and useful proteins stay in the bloodstream. This process stops if an inflammation damages the kidneys. One of the causes can be a high concentration of protein in the blood. The proteins then enter the urine. Increased protein levels indicate the severity of the disease. This resorption process, which only occurs when you're sick, causes an inflammation. So if we can reduce the passage of proteins, we can reduce the inflammation and protect the kidney from further damage. Giuseppe Remuzzi had the vision of sparing patients from mechanical blood washing, known as dialysis, during the 1990s. At that time, he and his team were researching drugs that could lower high blood pressure. High blood pressure destroys the kidneys. A hormone, angiotensin II, gives the cells of the blood vessels the order to contract. The blood pressure rises. The researchers prevent this order from being transmitted in the first place by blocking the hormone receptor of the cells with drugs. The blood vessels relax and the blood pressure drops, even inside the plexus of tiny veins in the kidneys. This prevents the proteins from being pressed through the delicate filters. Their passage is stopped, and the kidneys work as normal again. And those are precisely the effects of losartan and irbesartan, the drugs researched by Professor Remuzzi. Today, they are standard treatments worldwide for kidney disease. With over 1,300 scientific publications, Giuseppe Remuzzi is the most cited clinical researcher in Italy. In 1984, Giuseppe Remuzzi founded the Mario Negri Institute in Bergamo with colleagues. This research institute is run differently from other establishments. For starters, the proportion of female researchers working here is 85%. Unusual in Italy's male-dominated world of science. Even more unusually, research results, immediately patented and protected elsewhere, are treated very differently here too. If we patented our results ourselves, we would be bound to secrecy clauses for many years, until our research became available to everyone and benefited the patients. But that doesn't mean that our inventions are not used commercially. We don't patent them ourselves, but we do allow companies that support us in our research to patent them, in their company's name. We remain the inventors, but the patenting is done by industry. One example is a remedy for rare kidney diseases that was researched by Ariella Benini and Carla Maria Zoya, both molecular biologists. The pharmaceutical industry can be reluctant to invest in the development of remedies for rare ailments because it's not lucrative. This is where the Mario Negri Institute comes in. They run their own research clinic for such diseases.
Creare un ambiente di ricerca, da una parte Creating a research environment helps researchers understand the relationship between rare and more common diseases, but also creates a unique opportunity for industries that want to invest in research into rare diseases. And all of that benefits the patient. There are many examples, and the approach works really well.
Questo approccio veramente funziona.
Like the research into Salicylib, originally used only as an experimental drug to fight cancer. But scientists thought it might also be useful for treating the rare ailment lupus nephritis, an autoimmune disease of the kidneys.
We demonstrated with animals that treatment with Salicylib, begun at an early phase of the disease, prolonged survival and slowed the development of kidney disease. It also protects against kidney inflammation and suppresses autoimmune reactions.
The active substance is still in its trial phase, but the researchers say that success is urgently needed in the fight against kidney disease. Because today, chronic kidney disease, with 13.3 million new cases each year, has become a global problem, mainly affecting people in countries with poor infrastructure. Around 1.7 million people die of the disease every year, 1.4 million of them from developing nations. And we're forced to face the fact that even young people, children, girls, are also dying from kidney disease that would be completely curable. And this is a terrible thing. What are we doing to help these girls? Nothing. It's not even on the agenda of the World Health Organization. The WHO is doing nothing about kidney disease, nor is the industry. But it should be a basic human right. By the year 2025, there should be no more deaths caused by chronic kidney disease. That is also one of Giuseppe Remuzzi's major objectives. Meanwhile, he and the physicians at the Mario Negri Institute in Bergamo continue their research into preventing the causes of this silent killer.